The Soviet-era monument, called Motherland, hosts a Second World War museum at its base. But since last year, museum staff have been collecting artifacts of a new war, the war raging in eastern Ukraine. Ukrainian soldiers involved in the conflict have donated their clothing and other personal belongings, and some relatives have handed over personal effects of those who were killed on the battlefield.
I'm very proud of my son for what he did. He gave up his life without hesitating for his country. He also said, if not us, then who?
Nadia shows us the uniform and pictures of her 21-year-old son who was killed last year on the Russian-Ukrainian border. Holding an award for bravery, which was given to her son posthumously, she has mixed feelings.
Even today, I would tear apart with my own hands those people who sent my child there to become a cannon fodder. Who will bear responsibility for that? He was our only child and they took him away. How do I feel? I go to sleep and wait for him. I wake up and wait for him.
Stories like Nadia's formed the backdrop of events this week when Ukraine celebrated a new Defenders' Day holiday to commemorate those who have fought for the country's independence. At the same time, at the War Museum, new artifacts arrived to be exhibited.
We want the soldiers to come here. We want them to have a place to come where they can tell people what they're looking at, so that they can say, look, this is a piece of my war. I didn't want you to see the war itself. That's why I had this piece of war brought here, so that people could see it, the people I defended.
Natalia is a war correspondent for a Ukrainian TV channel. Alongside her colleagues, she's been gathering these artifacts in the war zone in eastern Ukraine, piece by piece, and bring them here, to Kyiv. And today, they invited all those whom they met during the war to thank them again and show them the exhibition. Some of the soldiers brought their families.
Today I came here with my family to show them all of this. They were constantly worried for me, but they haven't seen all of this. Because to remain alive in that situation which we had there, we thank God and all those who were worried for us.
Vyacheslav keeps glancing at the city and street signs arranged to his left. His unit retrieved one of these signs for the museum. It's the one which bears the name of a village in a territory controlled by Russia-backed militants and is heavily pierced by bullets and shrapnel. This demobilized soldier Mykola came here with his two granddaughters.
This is our history, and our children from a very early age should know who was doing what and where. These kids could barely wait for me to return from the war. Every day they were asking their mother and their grandma when Grandpa would come back.
And while this may be Ukraine's Defenders' Day, it's not only Ukrainians who are defending the country in the current war. A whole section of the exhibition is devoted to foreigners who are fighting for Ukraine. Among them, a guy from Belarus, who's been fighting in eastern Ukraine from day one of the hostilities. He says this day and this place is special for him.
I'm here to honor the memory of my brothers who are no longer with us. Their belongings are here. Belarusian fighters gave up their lives for the freedom of Ukraine and in general for our freedom.
For some, the cost Ukraine is paying for its freedom is too high, and for others, it's too painful. But exhibitions like this one will serve as a permanent reminder for current and future generations of the true value of their freedom. This is Volodymyr Sulub and Timofey Koshchei reporting from Kyiv for Ukraine Today.